the dog piss out of Ada. We beat them like 40-0, skunked them, ran them out of town at this camp.
And that was
we
the
got
bigger game?
Yes. That was the last game I think we played before we played Plainview at their own. They won their own tournament, which was cool. They had good guys.
Right.
It was a good game. But, dude, getting to beat Ada was so sweet, dude. Because I've never beat Ada. I'm being completely honest.
Well, see,
it's nobody's fault. I've just never beat them in anything.
Right.
But when we romped them like we did, and they ended up beating us in the season, which sucks. That won't happen again this year. Mark my words. But
I like that.
Little Joe Namath.
I hope there's some people from Ada that's listening.
Calling him shots.
I don't want anybody to get coronavirus or anything like that because I jinxed it. But getting to just thrash Ada like that before we got, and we made it all the way to the championship.
Is it because they talked a lot of smack, or is
it's just because they were cocky? You know,
Yeah.
just by nature.
Yeah.
It seems like kids from Ada.
Yeah.
I'm a kid, so I can say this. I say what I want. I play against them. You know,
Right.
They seem cocky by nature.
Yeah.
You know, so when we beat them like that, and I was like, I really finally got to see Ada lose at something, and that's just also that's a little bias from me because I've always seen them win, and I always get mad that they win every time.
Right.
So when we finally just beat them really good, and we watched them get mad and walk away with their heads down, it hit different. Other than any activity I've ever won, besides when we beat Claremore, that was the most fruitful victory I've ever had in my life. I was like, yes, I finally beat Ada, finally, and I helped. I scored and it helped, so it was sick, dude. It was so cool. Cause it's just, like you were talking about, it's just as good getting
just these parents were, they'd be like, that just the stuff they would say behind the scene, some of the dads, and then some of the coaches, and when they win the coin flip and they act like they don't know if they're going to pick home or visitor, like they're, it's not a really big deal to us if we get, if we bat first or if you bat first, and then they're like, well, yeah, I guess we'll pick home. And you're like, really? Okay. Well, let's go. Boys, go handle business, And that's what they did.
Yeah.
So that it's not the team. It's like Stigler. We played them several times this year. We even went over there to Stigler and scrimmaged them for like 3 hours. We did. And we know all their coaches or, we recognize faces and Coach Mullins knows that guy over there. The coach, and I know him too. I've seen him a million times over the years, but I don't really know him personally. But they're all, they're about baseball and about team, and not, oh, here we are, and we're gonna beat you and all that. We don't act like that, And so that's not the McAllister way, right?
Yeah, I'm all for a class act to a certain extent. I think there's definitely too much of it where you're like,
until you have Ada, who's being cocky. And it's
like,
okay,
there's too much. There's definitely a line where there's too much.
Right.
But you got to want to win at the same time.
Yeah.
It can't all be a class act. You can't be like, well, we feel bad that we won the coin toss actually, so you can have the ball first this time. We were planning on having it, but we'll give it to you. Like you can't be that apprehensive, but at the same time, you got to be out there to win.
Right.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Well, what's the point? Why even show up?
Yeah.
If you're not going to at least
try. That's what I'm saying about if they, if their best quarterback has coronavirus. Sorry, bro. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, sucks to be you.
We're about to beat the piss out of you.
Yeah, I'm about to buy all of our quarterbacks hazmat suits.
Yeah. Yes.
Like,
so
like CDC approved. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got to be on everybody's mind. It's got to be on everybody's mind to try to stay as healthy as can be. So maybe the football team does need to quarantine and their families. Maybe they all need to quarantine.
Our buff cards
until it's time to play and practice and stuff. Just to make sure nobody gets sick. I say nobody gets sick. Nobody gets a positive readout.
Well,
yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing. But I ain't gonna say nothing.
Isn't
feel a little sick?
Don't say that.
Yeah,
but they're gonna
come on, man.
But what
if you're having trouble breaing or something serious like that, definitely go get it checked out.
Don't it's like some people have it and don't even know it. And I think I don't know.
And it could be. I've heard of people getting tested for it, and
are they going to do mandatory testing before games?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think what I've heard is if somebody tests positive for it and you've come into contact with them, like close contact, then they'll test you. But other than that, they're not just going to be like, all right, guys, everybody get in here. We're all gonna see. You're gonna see if you have coronavirus or whatever.
Right.
They can't do that dumb shit because you can get false positives and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like that. And then you get people arguing and
Well,
going to the state and going, "Hey,
Wasn't
he
there
didn't
like a
have
couple? I read an article about a couple or something that they were going to get tested and they waited in line forever. And so they just decided not to do it. They just left. And then they called them like a few hours later and said, you just tested positive.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Oh,
They never even got
yeah.
tested.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, they shipped it in the mail or something like that, and it was like, yeah, you tested positive twice, and that like they never even showed up.
They never even got tested.
Yeah.
dude, I've heard all kinds.
This isn't Joe Rogan, but I'm just saying, as far as conspiracies go,
I don't know.
Hey, it makes you think. You know, it makes you think, and it makes you wonder if that's a true story. First of all, that's the first thing I think of. Even though I feel like a lot of it is, you know, not really fake news, but I feel like, you know, every death is not related to COVID.
no.
You know,
Well, and I've noticed a lot of like, especially like this school system, from what I've seen, there's a lot of common sense that's going into the decision making. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's
too
not
much.
so much fear driven as it is. Okay, this makes sense, so we're going to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that makes me feel better about it, as far as instead of it just being driven by the fear of it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Of, well,
I can
let's
definitely
just
agree with
stop
that.
everything. I
Yeah.
don't want to do nothing.
Right.
Something could happen.
I
You know what
agree.
I mean? So
you're gonna have to wear a mask to school this year, your senior year.
Yeah.
Hopefully for not very long, but
I don't know.
well,
I have no frame of reference.
Are you, you know, there's three different phrases. Blah, 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 blah. Three different phases, right?
Yeah.
Or three different choices you can make as far as attendance. And so have you figured out what you're going to do?
At this, I mean, I'm not really sure exactly.
Okay.
I mean, my mom's supposed to be filling it out for me. I can't really enroll myself yet. I only got a couple more days, but as of right now, I can't.
What would you like to do?
In my world, I would, me personally, just do like the mix. Well, okay, so I'll give you an interesting topic. It's up for whatever you want to do for everybody.
Right.
There's no certain amount of kids that have to do online in order for us to be able to go back to school or anything like that. It's whatever each individual kid wants to do. And they just said, well, when you show up to enroll, you can do whatever you want. And so me thinking, you know, obviously if I test positive for this stuff, I can't play football. But I didn't know if it was even going to be worth going to school in the first place. Because they never put out a poll, you know, and was like, well, if your kid's planning on going to school, there's only going to be 150 kids at a time at the high school. And the rest are doing either online or mixed. You know, like I think it's what they could end up calling like hybrid or something like that.
So you would want to know
How many
that would
kids?
help your
Yeah.
decision making
Yeah.
as far as how many kids are actually going to be at school and what, you know, risk or, you know,
Well,
what.
just the whole high school experience in of itself. If I'm going to school and it looks like a famine happened, you know, there's 25 kids walking around the hallways, and I bump into one every 10 seconds. You know, I'm walking in the hallways versus it being like I remember. If it sucks, which it really might still.
Right.
I have no idea. They never did a poll or anything like that to see how many kids are planning
So
on
we
going
don't
to
know
school.
yet.
I'll see when I get there. There could be, you know, by the time it's all said and done, 200 or less kids doing.
So if there's
school all
25
day.
kids or 200 less kids, you don't really want to go?
Well, what's the point?
Right.
I just go walk around, you know, hey, what's up, man? Oh, what's up? And I, you know, still switching classes, but there's 12 kids in a class versus when there was 20 at one point in time, or 25 even sometimes.
Or maybe even 5 kids.
Yeah, and that's like right now I have no idea. Maybe all these kids were like, yeah, I want to do blended. I don't want to just sit at school all day. That sucks. I just want to go to, you know, one class and go back home.
So as far as your friends, what do they all want to do? What are they leaning
They're
towards?
saying the same things I am, by
Blended?
and large. They don't know.
Oh, okay.
They don't know what to pick. They're like, what's everybody doing? I don't want to be left out. I don't want to be either the weird kid that's at school doing work on his computer or the kid at high school where everybody else is just doing their work at the beginning of the day and then doing whatever.
So you're saying you would like to have a normal season or a normal school year, normal season.
Well, and what you got right now, I think, is, without being too negative, I don't mean to be negative about it, but everybody's trying to look for a way to not get blamed if it's the wrong decision.
Right.
So
So it's
like
really
the school's going,
comprehensive, yeah.
if you feel scared, don't come. If you do feel okay,
Oh, yeah, I
come.
get text messages from McAllister every day.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
who put my number on this? You know,
Well,
'cause
I get
Amy
'em-
and I both don't need to be getting these text messages. You know, if,
I get them too, and that's the thing about it is trying to decide as a parent. Okay, the cool thing about school was, and we always talk about it, is the social aspect of it, learning to develop as a person and experiencing things in an environment with mixed people and all those things like that. Okay, well that's awesome, right? But what if you're sending your kid and he's one of 40 people that go to school in this giant building of people, and he doesn't see anybody all day long, and so what's the point? You know what I mean? If the curriculum's on the internet, even though we're not necessarily scared of him getting it per se. I mean, I don't want him to get it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying I don't hold that fear of if he goes, he's going to get it.
right.
But it's almost like, as a parent, I'm going, why would I make him go? You know what I mean? And I think that's where they're kind of leaving it open to everybody so that, number one, you got to be able to justify all those teachers. You know what I mean? And if they have the possibility of all these kids showing up, then they're going to need all those teachers, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think it's one of those things where I think this year's going to be kind of funky as far as what's going to happen with it. I think it'll sort itself out as we go, you know?
You still got to do the classwork.
Yeah,
Online?
You still got to do the work.
Yeah, yeah.
So every teacher's going to be involved, right? No matter what, correct?
What about the janitors?
Or do you think some of the teachers are going to be let go?
Well, I mean, what
I
about
don't
all the
think it-
office help? You know, I mean, you got
Right.
A lot of
two
moving
kids,
parts.
a secretary, and a
So do you think there
undersecretary.
are some of those out there that are worried about their?
I think it's a way. I think nobody knows. You know, what I mean, I think from here on out, school's going to look a lot different.
I wonder why they
Forever.
didn't. Yeah, we talked about that last time. Mm-hmm. It's looking, but I'm wondering why they didn't poll it.
Yeah, I wish they would have for our sake because we had to do it. I saw kids posting stuff of them doing it themselves, which doesn't work. That'll never work. There's something that, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's just your friends there because you're not going to be with them all day. They're not going to go, oh, you like these kids? We'll put you in classes with all of them. The point is that there's a large variety of people there, and, you know, you get to see them along with your friends, you know, like while you're at high school. You don't want to just know what your friends are doing. You want to know everybody,
Right.
what everybody's up to.
Yeah,
And see, that's the hard part as a parent is you would want your kid to go to school every day because you want them to get educated. Well, the education's on the computer, not at the school. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you can
Right.
get the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily the same experience, but it might be if nobody goes. I mean, think about how many kids in high school are going to want to opt out of going if they can. You know what I'm saying?
it's interesting to me though that you guys want to have a normal school year. I think when I was a senior, if they would have said, "Hey, you get a choice," we'd all been like, "We're not going to school." You know,
Well, I think everybody got a taste of it when quarantine happened.
that's true
Because it
You
was
guys-
like right dead and center in the middle of the school, and they were like, baseball's canceled,
Yeah,
track's canceled,
that sucked.
whatever else you want to do is done.
was
Go
terrible.
home, and you're not leaving your house. And everybody
Yeah.
was like, why? And we're
Right.
like, no, you're staying home.
We want to go to school now.
Yeah.
Well,
We're like,
it's-
well, what? You know, all these seniors, you hear about them. You know, like, well, that's it. You know, no more last baseball game.
Exactly. It's
Knowingly.
terrible.
Well, so yeah, now it's not just like, oh, we don't get to go to school,
Right.
yay! It's like, dude, we're never gonna get that back.
Right.
The tail end of our junior
Yes.
years and some people's senior years
Yeah.
and sophomores and it's gone
Right.
forever. They'll
Yeah.
never get the closure of having, you know, either the last.
Yeah, and I don't
baseball
think
game
we
or
thought
whatever.
like that when we were your age. A lot
think
of
so?
us.
Well, but
No.
you never had this looking at you. You got to understand
Like I
this,
said,
it was
I-
never an option.
Well, it's
Yeah.
true, but like basketball, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna play basketball this year. Because for whatever reason, I guess I thought maybe the next year I'd be playing basketball. You know,
Yeah.
not really, but I thought I just didn't. It never crossed my mind. This is it, Ben.
Yeah.
This is it. You know,
Well,
and I'm sure my parents and my grandparents and all that put it to me that way.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't care. You know, I don't care. But I do care now, you know.
Yeah. Well, and the difference is whether or not kids wanted to play it or not, it's done.
Right.
Like even the kids that did want, like say, you know, one of your buddies wanted to play basketball. No,
Yeah.
no, you're done right now.
Right.
You're going home right now.
yeah,
No more
it's-
basketball for you.
Yeah.
and that's what it's tough. You're looking at it like this. Okay, let's say like Gavin can go totally virtual and still play football. Okay,
Now you have to still do one class, right?
One class a week or a day, something like that.
1 hour.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically, so you go, okay, well now
Basically, they just want you to.
this ain't like summer vacation, just because you're not going to school don't mean you ain't going to be doing anything or whatever. Well, okay, well, why? Well, because. Well, why? I mean, that's, as a parent, I'm always asking that because I don't do anything just because that's the way it's always been done. Nothing. When it comes to my parenting, the way that I parent, it ain't got shit to do with the way I was. I mean, it has some things to do with the way I was raised, but I don't do them because that was the way it was done with me.
Right.
I try to do things that make sense to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you do with it then? Okay, let's say you've got this year of Gavin going 1 day a week. You know what I mean? Let's say, okay, he's got to go 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. Well, what's he do for the other 7 hours? Okay, he's got to get his schoolwork done. Well, he's going to do that I know him. He's going to sit down at the computer and he's going to do a week's worth in 1 day.
Right.
If it's
More
available.
likely, yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, because he's smart enough to do that.
Well, I mean, if they unlock it, he wants to get through things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if they unlock it and he can do the semester and now,
More likely going to put 2 weeks in and get it done.
well, that's
So I
what
got
he'll
time to
just
chill.
he'll
Really?
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
he'll
Right.
march through it and be done with it. You know what I mean? And then, okay, well, now what? Am I going to punish him for being done early? Like, oh, well, you got done with your schoolwork? Well, good. So go to Walmart and get a job.
Right.
Or do I go, hey, dude, you're showing the initiative, you're getting your stuff done. What can I say? You know what I mean? Chill, I guess. Wait for football practice. I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't punish somebody for doing well. So
Well, we've not known this our whole lives. It's never been like this.
that's
right
what
here.
I'm saying. I have like these things. There's several things about this school year that how can I advise him? I don't know.
Now, is it supposed to be this way for the whole year?
I've-
Or what? I mean, what are they saying?
I haven't heard
Semester
anything.
by semester?
Well, they don't know. They know just about as much as we do. As
Well,
far
I
as,
know, but what are they saying? Are they saying this is how it's going to be for now? I mean, what?
This is enrollment, so this is for the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just for the year.
of course,
I would
any
imagine
time
so,
they
yeah.
can say next semester everybody be here. November the 11th, you're coming
Okay.
back to school full time.
I didn't know if they've left that disclaimer in there or not.
I'm sure they can change it anytime they want as far as the requirements of high school go, but maybe not. They might have to finish the year that way. I don't really know.
I would assume if you're enrolling that way, that's the way it's going to be. Because, I mean, if you're doing it online, they're going to have to take all of your grades and all that stuff and plug it into a teacher's class because a teacher at the real school may have more kids than she can handle or whatever,
Yeah.
proportionally to however many kids
Right.
are there. So you may not get to have all those same assignments. Maybe this teacher had a different deal. So you got to.
That's a huge change.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really see him. If you did a whole semester's worth, like a whole half of the school year, then I don't see him just going, well, yeah, well, you're all going back to school. Have fun.
Right.
And this kid's like, well, I didn't have this teacher's class. We didn't get taught that stuff that she's doing in there. And you go, well, sorry, do it. Figure it out. That's not how it
And
works.
see, the side of me that would be what I would assume would be the way to do it would be for everybody to go, and then the scared people stay home. So the majority of people get to go have a regular school year.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But we've learned already in the last 4 or 5 months that kind of logic ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I mean? It could go any which way.
Right.
To try to second guess people or figure out what they're going to do, God only knows what the masses are going to do, or what they're sitting there believing or not believing, or just because. I mean, I may see something a certain way, but there's probably plenty of parents out there like, oh, I'm terrified to send my son back to school or my daughter. There that many kids together in one
yeah.
place. Anybody could be bringing that in there, and they're going to bring it home to us.
Well, it's a legitimate concern.
right. I'm not knocking it. I'm saying there's
I know.
people out
Right.
there. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
going to look at it that way. So
Yeah.
and then to
And
try
as a
to
parent, it's kind of hard to
justify either way. I mean,
justify the way. And then you think on a larger scale for the school, they're like, there's no right answer. You're not going to please everyone. You're not going to, you're going to piss some people off. You're going to,
they definitely, I think, chose the right move, giving
Yeah.
everybody the option. Definitely the best.
well, that's the only thing they can
course
do.
of action.
You know what I mean? Because if they're in a spot to where if they go, okay, everybody be here at school, we're starting August the 10th. Everybody come, we're having a regular school year. And then they have a coronavirus outbreak in the school, and one kid gets sick and die from it, and they're like, see, McAllister School, if you hadn't made everybody come back to school, this kid would be alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're kind of in one of those spots to where, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one step away from that. So liability wise, they've got to be. It's chess, not checkers. You know what I mean? They've got to try to negate some of this. That's why the state's not saying anything. The state's not mandating that everybody go to school or everybody not go to school. They're like, hey, we're going to leave this to the school district.
Yeah,
so the school district's like, thanks a lot. You know, thanks for passing the butthole. You know, so. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, here it is. It's enrollment time. What do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. As far as them making the right choice, it would have been pretty easy for them to just go. I mean, like they did with the lockdown stuff. In some places, they were like, "We don't care what's going on. You're staying at your house at all times." They could have said the same thing with school. They'd be like, "Well, my kid wants to go to school for his senior year. He doesn't want to stay at the house." And they could have just went, "You're gonna do what we said you do. You're going to do what we say to do because we're federally obligated and you're not."
You feel like you're going to learn less?
If I were to go online?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about learn less. It's all there to learn. On the internet, it can teach you everything that's ever been recorded in human history can be taught on the internet. All of it. It's all on there somewhere. So, I mean, really, when it comes to learning on a computer, it's just up to how much initiative you want to put into it. It's different. It takes getting used to. Like, I remember doing some assignments online last year.
Mm-hmm.
And one big issue was some of the teachers didn't know how to use Google Classroom. But they were good teachers in the classroom. They just didn't know much about computers really at all. So some of the assignments would be like PDF files, you know, like a picture if you were to take of like that wall or something like that and be like, put your answers on, like take this, and they would expect you to put the answers on them, but what you would have to do is save them to your computer and like Photoshop the picture or the answers onto it.
Right.
And all the kids didn't know how to do it. Couldn't really think of a way to get to them and tell them,
that was,
"Hey, this isn't how you do it. Please, I don't know what to do with this."
And those type of things should be all ironed out.
Yeah.
By now. Right.
For sure. Yeah. You don't see anybody not knowing how to use Facebook anymore, really.
And that's kind of how we talked about when this thing started was, this is going to start
a lot of changes.
Well, you've got the biggest gap in knowledge. And not knowledge period, but I'm talking about specialized knowledge when it comes to technology that we've ever seen. You know what I mean? Because the world is like people my parents' age, like my mom and dad in their 60s. Well, these people are easily duped by the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, and what I mean, and we've got teachers that are that age, that are, and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm saying there's a learning curve, even for somebody my age who went most of their life without the internet. There's a learning curve for me. There's plenty of things that that you can. I don't fall for the Facebook scams and stuff, but I'm just talking about, there's things doing like you're talking about Photoshop and answers and those kind of things. I wouldn't know that you could do that. I wouldn't know that I wouldn't know how to do any of that stuff.
Well, some kids wouldn't either, and that's who you have to account for. Not everybody knows still, like you would like to assume most people know how to drive, but not all do. Just like, if I show some of those kids that PDF file, they got it. I don't know why I'm saying to assume. They got the same file I did, and they went, "This is a picture. What? What am I supposed to do with this?" And they didn't know that you could just like screenshot it and put it into whatever and write your answers down on it. Or how to do any of that stuff. They were just like, "This is a picture. Where do I put my answers?" And then they just have to sit there and look at it. And they're like, "Well, I didn't know what to do."
And then they got to spend half a day or a full day in trying to
figure it out. And there's nothing to figure out until you know what to do.
Right. Exactly. So a simple, 20-second fix.
Well, and that's like I said, man. I mean, you were saying getting these details ironed out. They should be by now. And I think we're in the middle of this curve of education being taken over by technology. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
ever present.
Well, you got to look at it from a money side, and we all know that it breaks down to money at the end of the day. And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just trying to look down the road, which is hard to do right now. But how long until we don't have a university anymore? You know what I mean? All that crap is online, like Gavin just said. And it's like,
well, now I'm getting like ads and stuff saying, why choose us to do your online learning? Why choose Oklahoma University to do your online learning and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Ooh, they must have a very small or a very large, dropout or a
Yeah, dude. Like my wife is
low attendance or enrollment.
In the process of getting her.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have just as much. They just want to.
Well,
if you're gonna, I'm sure a lot of people are looking to do that the online now because of all this that's going on, and they're going to try to get as much as your money as they can.
Well, you got to think about it like this. Brandy got her bachelor's and never went to one class on campus. Not one. Not 1 hour. Not 1 minute was spent on that campus.
Never stepped foot on it.
And she never even went to graduation, so she didn't get it. She got her diploma in the mail. Mm-hmm. And it's just as good as somebody that went and got in a fraternity and stayed 4 years and partied their ass off and graduated with the tassel and all the blah, blah, blah. It's the same document,
Right.
And I think that's going to become more of a thing as we go. It's getting easier and easier. She's going to get her nurse practitioner and she's going to do it. She's trying to decide which college to go to because there's like 8 of them and she doesn't have to physically go to them. I remember when I was young, people would say like, well, I'm wanting to do this, but I got to drive back and forth to Ada to get my degree, those guys, and that's over.
Right.
So, and that's in a matter of, that's been probably 5 years ago, people were still doing that, so here we are 5 years later. And that's what I mean about high school. How long till it looks way different? How long until there is no walking the halls as a senior? Well, and even you got to a point to where how many hours do you have or credits do you have left required?
Oh, yeah. Even if this whole virus thing didn't happen, I still wouldn't be at school very much. Like if I were doing college classes, it'd be like they're like 4 hours of the day. Mm-hmm. I can probably get somewhere around in there if I manage my schedule right.
And by the way, I want to mention just while we were talking that Gavin's maintaining a 3.5, by the way, in the middle of all this stuff. He's keeping his grades up and that kind of thing. So,
that's awesome.
We talk about it all the time. Not me and Gavin, but me and a lot of people talk about it. For student athletes, usually they're either a pretty good athlete or a pretty good student.
Right.
Usually
both.
I know I was not either. I was a bad athlete and a bad student both. So. Which I hate, in some ways I wish I hadn't told them that, but in other ways it was kind of one of those don't do what I did things, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that had something to do with it. They're like, look at your old dad, he's an old fat guy that's out here doing what he don't want to do. So
what was the funny story you were going to tell earlier?
I broke down. Well, let's see. Okay.
You broke down?
Well, I broke down a couple of times.
You said I have a hilarious story to tell.
Well, the hilarious story wasn't a breakdown story for me. I was on my way home from working on the car. Mm-hmm. Okay. We got the car going, and
this is what we do on the podcast. We skip around.
I had some trouble. Well, I was going to drive the car home. Right, I'm going to take it home. Get it out of Dad's shop. I've been in Dad's shop for a couple of years and taking up space, and I was wanting to get it out of the shop, get it so he could have his shop back. And so that was the big deal. Brandy's going to take me over there, and we're going to get the car. She's going to follow me. I'm taking it home. Yay, And we stop at I get in the car, drive it down to Quentin, pull in the little gas station at Quentin, and there's a guy standing there. And invariably, it's an old car, so if somebody's at the gas pumps.
This ain't the same story you've already told?
Huh?
This ain't the same story you've already told?
About the gas leak?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks for ruining it. Anyway.
Well,
you can cut that out, and so the damn story will be funny now.
You told a very similar.
This shit has happened several times. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
What's funny about it.
I'll cut that out then.
I have like 9 things like this, but anyway.
Right, start over.
So
you pull up
to the gas station, and this guy's telling me about, he's asking me what the car is and blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. And a part of me enjoys the attention of it because there's a lot of work that's gone into it. It's not just your everyday vehicle. That's kind of what I like about it. So he's talking to me, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm getting gas. And everything's fine. And Brandy's sitting there waiting on me to leave. So this guy drives off. Now I go in, and I'm like, I'm going to get something to drink while I'm in here. So, of course, Sadie gets out. She's going to get something to drink. We go in the store. And I get my drink, and I'm walking back outside, and I notice as soon as I walk outside, I can see something pouring out from underneath my car. not dripping, pouring out. It's gasoline, okay? And it is pouring out. It's already in a puddle, a 2-foot puddle under my car. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I walk up there and I'm like, what in the world? And the car's been lowered. I lowered it 1.5 inches. So I can't even fit my melon under it. You know what I mean? I can't see under it hardly at all. No. Well, I mean, the frame is probably, a few inches off the ground, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm looking up in there, can't see what's going on. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, now what do I do? I'm at the gas station, fuel pouring out everywhere. Just filled her up to the top, And so I was like, all right, let's take it home. And take it home, or take it back to Dad's. I mean, not take it home. Drove back to Dad's, expecting it to burst into flames at any moment.
Right.
His gas is pouring out of the front of the tank onto the exhaust.
Oh my God.
I couldn't make this up, dude.
Dang.
Because the exhaust comes over the rear end and takes off and goes both directions right there and goes around the tank. Mm-hmm. Well, right there at the front of the tank, what would be towards the front of the car, somewhere in there, I'm not sure what it was. I know now what it was, but at the time I didn't know. It was not dripping, dude. Pouring out. Like, I probably lost 2 gallons on the way back to Dad's, and it's not 4 miles. So I'm thinking, what do I do? Am I going to have him come pick me up? I got to get this thing out of here. I said, we're taking it back. Fire it up. Haul ass back to Dad's. It's leaking gas the whole time. Pull it in the shop, and whenever I'm still, it's not pouring out anymore. I've lost enough of it. It's not running out, so we leave it overnight. Go back, it wasn't the next day, but the next day, go back. We're trying to see what's wrong. Can't tell. We have to drop the tank, the brand new tank. And when we drop the tank, the sending unit, which is what tells me where my fuel level is, when they put it together, I had Dad and another guy put the tank together. Well, they use silicone-based RTV to seal that sending unit. Well, silicone, gasoline
Eats
right on through 100%. Silicone, right?
Yeah.
So
Gavin knows.
Yeah, I know that much.
So whenever we drop the tank, the gasket's just blowed out. It's holding in one little video spot, So this is kind of a long story, but it kind of tells you, you'll get the gist of why I'm telling you all this. Mm-hmm. So we fix it. It takes a lot of, both Dad and I try, we're going to siphon the gas out because I just filled it up. And it's an 18-gallon tank, and it's got about 15 gallons in it. So it's heavy as hell. Very heavy. And we got to drop it to see what's going on, right? So we're trying to siphon gas out. We both get gas in our mouth. And my mustache smelled like unleaded for 2 days. You know what I mean? It was awful. And, we got pissed off at each other. And, first one thing another, because you don't know, you already know how to siphon gas by now. He can't get it to stay. When you get it to going, it won't stay. Some reason it was sucking air. We still don't know why. So we end up having to hold the tank on the top of a jack and pour it out of the gas nozzle. Because on those cars, the gas nozzle for the tank goes right behind behind the license plate. You bend the license plate down, and there's the gas thing. So it's right there at the back of the car. So we just take the nozzle off, get 5-gallon buckets, and we tip this tank until we get it empty enough we can handle it, get it down. And, of course, there's gas just sitting in buckets around, 5-gallon buckets of gasoline. You know what I mean? Bombs sitting around everywhere. Long story even longer, I get some airplane-grade sealant, and we have 1 cork gasket left over from whenever they put the tank together. We put that in there, seal it up. I get it going, right? We got it sealed up. We put a little bit of gas back in it. Everything looks good. We spend a lot of time, my dad and I, very hot, a lot of sweat, a lot of griping, a lot of, it's just, it was a thing. So I'm like, all right, I'm tired. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm going home. And I get in my truck to go home. And I'm in my work truck because I came from work and I was just going to go by there on my way home and work on this thing. And I'm on call anyway, so that way, and my mom and dad live closer than I live to the plants. So I'm like, well, if I get called out, I can just go from there and go back to work. And so I'm thinking, I'm going home. I'm tired. Take off, go through Quentin, headed towards home on 31. And I get out there there's some amine plants. I work on amine plants, but this is some that they're not part of they're in the same company as me, but on a different part of it or whatever. Anyways, there's two guys sitting there with their flashers on in a little car. So I pull up there, man, because it's just like, I don't know why. I mean, I don't think it was, the Lord didn't tell me to stop or anything, but it was just like, I just wanted to see what was going on. These guys are sitting in the driveway of this thing with their flashers on. So I pull up there, roll the window down. I go, what's going on, guys? They're like, man, we run out of gas. I was like, oh, that sucks. And they're like, I mean, we're probably 15 miles out of Quentin, and it's another 5 miles probably to Blocker, and that store is not open. And then you got to go on into Krebs to get gas. So you're another 20 miles away that way. So I said, all right, I'll tell you what, man. Do you have a gas can? They go, well, we've got this gallon oil jug that you can put gas in. And I was like, well, I can't have anybody riding my truck. I said, just give me your jug and I'll take it and I'll go get you some gas from Quentin and I'll bring it back out here to you. Oh, man, we appreciate it. So I get the jug. And the whole way over there, I'm thinking, a gallon of gas? Is that even going to get them back to Quentin? Jeez, So I go to the store and fill up their can. Well, I buy another gas can, another gallon gas can. And no, it was a 2-gallon can for like $15.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, this is 11 o'clock at night, you know what I mean? And all I kept thinking was, what's the point of helping them if they're still stranded? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, God. So I buy this can. I don't need the damn 2-gallon gas can or nothing else, you know what I mean? So buy it, fill it up with gas, fill up their oil can of gas, rinse it out a little bit, and fill it up with gas. So they've got 3 gallons. Should be enough to get them wherever in the hell they're going. Take it back out there to them, and they're sitting there waiting. And I said, here you go. And they go, where's the gas? I said, just you keep the can. I don't need the can. Just, do something nice for somebody is what I told them. I said, if you want to pay me back, just do something nice. And, because these guys seem a little down on their luck. I mean, I don't mean to judge them. I'm just saying they were out of gas in the middle of nowhere. Right. You know what I mean? And didn't look like nobody was coming by the way they was acting. So I give them the gas, and they immediately start dumping down. I just drive away. And I don't go a mile. I go over a hump, over a hill, and come over the next hill, and there's somebody in the middle of the road with their flashers on. And I'm like, are you kidding? What the hell is going on here? I mean, I pull up behind these people, and they're in a little white car. I can't remember what it was now. It's like a Nissan Altima or something like that. And it's old. It's a Car-Mart car, and it's old. Pull up there, and I get out, and there's 4 people standing there. There's 2 guys and 2 girls. And I'm thinking, these kids ain't even old enough to drive. They look young. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is going on? Pull over, turn my flashers on, walk over there, and I go, what's going on, guys? And the guy's like, oh, we had a flat. Well, it was like they had ruined the tire. And I was like, how old are you guys? And this one guy's like, I'm 19, and they're 18. So I figure probably 17, 16, 15. You know what I mean? They looked younger than what they said. Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, well, where are we at with it? What are you guys doing? And the guy goes, well, I got the lug nuts off. I was like, where's the jack? He's like, I can't get it to work. So he's taking the lug nuts off of this tire without a jack under it. You know what I'm saying? It's sitting there with no lug nuts. I look down, I take my phone, and I shine down on the deal, and he's taking all 5 of them off. And now, mind you, there's no shoulder right here where they're at. So they're basically in the grass with their passenger side tires and on the road with their driver's side tires on a hill. Okay? There's a hill on the east side of them and a hill on the, they're going up a hill to the west. And there's, what would you call it? Semi-traffic, because those water hauling trucks are constant through there. There's a disposal not too far away, so it's just constant. So there is a never-ending stream of freaking semis. So I'm like, oh, gee, well, where's all your stuff? Okay, well, the jack's here. They got the jack laying up by on the car, up by the windshield. And it's a itty bitty little scissor jack, like it would come with that damn car.
Yeah, right.
And he's got his lug wrench there, but nothing else. No, the deal with the hook that goes into the jack to screw the jack up. No, they don't have that. And I'm like, all right. So I go to my truck and get a crescent, 12-inch crescent wrench. Put their jack under their car and start raising his car with my crescent. Okay? Meanwhile, semis are going both ways. I'm laying in the road, right? Okay, the guy who evidently owned the car, he's got his phone light and he's shining it on me, and I got my flashers on, and this I'm laying there trying to do this, jack this car up, and this girl goes, "Hey, do you mind if we make a TikTok?" And I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Can we make a TikTok?" And I was like, "No, what you can do is stand in the road and keep trucks from running over me, you know?" And she was serious. You know, I don't know what TikTok they were going to make with me laying down on the road, changing their flat for them. But three of these people were doing nothing. You know what I mean? At least one guy was kind of shining his light on me. And so I'm sitting there trying to raise their, well, since they're sitting on a little side incline, the car falls off the damn jack. When it's about 3/4 of the way up, it falls over and falls on the jack. Okay? Because I've got the spare almost off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's jacking up and the spare's falling off as we cut. So it falls down on that. So we're screwed. So I'm like, all right, listen, I'm going to get the jack out of my work truck and I'm going to jack y'all's car up with it.
I figured you had did that first.
Well, I thought they had the stuff. I thought, okay,
You can-
this long and now I'll have them back on the road.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm hurrying, you know, I'm trying not to make too many steps out of it, basically is what it did. So I run to my truck, and now I realize that I don't know where the jack is in this truck. I can't find it. I raise all the extended cab seats and look under it, nothing. Underneath the driver's seat, I think toolboxes. Look in the toolboxes, nothing, no jack. So I'm sitting there going, I'm not saying anything to the kids, and they're all standing there with their phones in the middle of the freaking road. You know, and I'm just like, please God, don't let them get run over. And finally, this guy shows up that I know that works for another company, that works for the water hauling company. And he's like, what are you doing out here? I'm like, I'm helping these freaking kids. They got a flat. And he goes, oh. And I said, dude, I can't find the jack in this truck. And he goes, well, it's behind the passenger seat back in the very rear. And I go, behind the back of the seat? He goes, yeah. I said, I didn't even know that came down. He goes, hang on. And we got over there. And, of course, because I run in that truck by myself all the time, it's full of shit. I mean, I got everything that I own, basically, in this thing. So we pull all this stuff out of the way, pull it back. There it is. There's my jack. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. You know, and, of course, he doesn't hang.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's like, I can see this is a cluster. I'm out.
He knows, yes.
Yeah, he gets in his ride and jets. So I get my jack out, jack up the car, put their donut on for him, and I said, when I go to put the lug nuts on, I'm like, all right, man. I said, I know this really ain't the time to teach you anything, but do you know how to put lug nuts back on? I saw you take them off, but do you know how to go about putting them back on? You know, has your dad showed you or anything like that? Because he said, my dad bought me this car, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes, well, my dad just said make sure they're tight. And I said, huh? He goes, my dad just told me to make sure they're tight. I said, he didn't say anything about an order that you want to do these in or anything like that? He's like, no, he just said make sure they're tight. I was like, okay, listen, you know, you want to crisscross, you know, and I'm showing him. And maybe this dude is playing me. You know what I mean? Maybe this whole time he just didn't want to jack with it.
He just wants you to do it.
Yeah, maybe this whole time he's just like.
No, probably not.
Well, let me tell you something. This fat man had a white T-shirt on, and I was basically naked. It was soaked. You know what I mean? You can see right through it. I've been working my ass off during this whole time. And
dude, there's probably a TikTok somewhere out there.
Oh,
my dad, like they had like
sure.
those model things, where, like they had the white shirts, the swimming pool contest or whatever.
Yeah, every time I
Like
see a
recording my dad.
picture of a TikTok that has like road lines in it, I think, damn it, that better not be
You got
me.
double cross.
But anyway, you know, I show him the deal, and I get the jack down, pull the jack out. This dude don't say, I said, listen, 50 miles an hour is your top speed. I said, this is a donut. It is not meant for high speed. 50. Don't go any. He goes, and his tag is Arkansas. He goes, I got to drive 50 miles an hour all the way to Arkansas. I said, I don't care where you drive. You don't go over 50 miles an hour. And with this, or you're going to be on the side of the road with nothing. There ain't going to be, you have to get a tire to get going again. Oh, okay. Well, he's like, well, I got to go all the way to Arkansas. I was like, I know you're a long way from home, and you got nothing. All right, so I grab his flat tire, raise up the deal to put it in his trunk. There's all the shit I need to run the jacks laying back there.
You didn't look in the trunk first?
No, I'm in a hurry. I thought they had it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to hurry. You know,
they didn't have everything.
So yeah, I thought it's an old car. You know, I thought, well, somebody probably took the shit out and didn't put it back in there, or whatever. And I said, all right, well, you know, there's your tire in there. You guys are good. They didn't say thank you. They didn't say nothing. This dude got in his ride and drove away. Him and them other three. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Tough.
But, you know, I mean, you know, these are the people going to be running our country in another 10 years. But anyway.
Oh, my gosh. Not even a thank you, huh?
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I started that day out, and I got home right at midnight that night. And I was wore out. I'm talking about tapped out. All in the name of being a good Samaritan, you know what I mean? And normally I wouldn't, if that story wasn't funny, I didn't tell it because I'm like, I'm going around helping everybody. Dude, I just kept running into people.
Was that the hilarious story you were going to tell me?
I guess. You know?
Or did you forget what story you were going to say?
It was more embarrassing
wholesome
than anything, I guess.
Wholesome story.
That's a pretty funny story, though, because I can't see you on the side of the highway like that.
Oh, that guy, when he pulled up, the guy that I knew, he was just like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing here? I'm like, these people don't know how to change their flat. I'm changing it for them. You know, and he was almost like, it's kind of their problem, isn't it? You know?
You saved some kids' lives because I'm sure they were about to get smoked.
I'm telling you, every time a truck would come by, I would just be like,
cringe. Yeah.
You know, but which the truck drivers were cool. They were, you know, they were back and forth. I'm talking about the same trucks. They were hauling all night. That's what that guy was doing out there. He's kind of he like runs the water hauling part of it. So he's like, they got us hauling all night. They got a leak, blah, 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 blah. And they were just sitting there, you know, back and forth. But, yeah, dude. Oh, I've got a ton of them. Like whenever I took Carter to hang out with his buddies the other night, he made me stop a long ways away so he could get out of the car, out of my Pontiac, because, you know, he didn't want to climb out of it in front of him, I guess, or whatever. So I got the just let me out right here, you know, that deal.
The door wasn't open?
He just don't want to. He don't even want to pull up in the Pontiac. You know.
He doesn't like the Pontiac.
Well, I mean, he likes it okay, but it's like he don't want to pull up to his buddies, you know. And you got to reach out the door and push the button from the outside because the inside handle don't work.
I remember being his age though. He don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like guys my age, if I were to drive the car Dad's driving, they'd be like, "Dude, that awesome. Car is sick, bro. Yeah. Sick." But kids Carter's age, you know, like still looking up pictures of Bugattis and stuff on the internet.
Right.
Well,
you know,
they were giving Carter shit because they were like, "Oh, is that your car you're gonna get when you turn 16?" and all that stuff, you know. So.
They don't even know in like 3 years their taste will all change. Right. Be like, dude, that's your car you're getting? Mm-hmm. No joke. Yeah. That thing's sick. You know, like just one of those things.
Man, and you know, as the dude that I am, I'm just like, I don't give a shit if people like it.
Well, I'm glad the car is finished. And hopefully
it's not debatable.
Well, it's drivable. Yeah. It's on the road. You pull up in it. It's outside. It's about, 10, 15 feet from us right now.
Yeah, probably got a crackhead taking my handheld out of it right now.
Probably do. But you'll get another one, and we'll at least get to do a podcast in it at some point.
Well, once I get air conditioning, which I'm in the process of doing right now, then we could do one in it. You know what I mean? And I'm working on the interior too. It'll be, you know, somewhat complete and all that fun stuff. So I know you, and we can't roll around with no AC because you'll be sweating the whole time. You know, even though you come from family of mechanics, you're, you know, a little soft about the elements. So
about the elements,
I gotta protect you. You know,
are you still having internet issues at all?
I don't have any idea. I don't know, man. I haven't tried to use it.
You ain't played online in a while?
No, man. I've been on vehicles. Like,
have you been gaming at all?
Here and there. Not near as often. I actually just got started gaming again today. I watched a YouTube video and it reminded me of an
What
old
did you
game.
play?
Titanfall 2.
Oh.
This guy made a whole video dedicated to how Titanfall 2 is like one of the best games to come out in a few years as far as like being fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I think me and my cousin got that game shared, so I went and looked and we do. So
really?
I downloaded it, and started playing it.
It's basically how Apex was born, correct?
Yeah, the same developers, same mechanics, everything. Same guns, same meta, same world, everything. It's pretty sick. That was crazy. And I mean, just as on that topic, like when Apex took off, it was like instant. Yeah. It was like all of a sudden because nobody heard anything about it, and then it was like,
right.
Everybody was like, dude, you know, PUBG doesn't run right on Xbox. It sucks on Xbox. Like none of the assets load. Like stuff will just not make sense. Like it just won't work straight up. And then Apex was like, we got you covered right here. And then it just swept the whole world.
Yeah.
I remember there was like months where Apex was the biggest thing since sliced bread.
I was shocked at Apex because it was like perfect.
Yeah. For the
And
time.
I didn't
and
really
everything,
know that about Titanfall 2 and all that. I never played that or anything. So I was like, this thing is like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Out of the gate. So we've talked about, no, we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about the new hat that you bought. The I Don't Drink Coffee hat. I Don't Drink Coffee podcast hat. Hashtag IDDCP. So we're going to get into merch. We keep saying that, but we're going to do it.
Well, this was getting the hat was to kind of push us over the edge. You know what I'm saying?
And it seemed like you got a lot of positive feedback over it.
Well, even I saw a minute ago, Scott Morgan posted an emoji with a dude with his hand in the air as he wants one.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All
So
right. Awesome.
I mean, I think
the shipping to Germany would be more than what the hat costs, but
well, it's like a you know.
But I think it would be kind of awesome to ship it to Germany,
yeah,
knowing that our merch is in Germany.
Well,
That's
I mean,
kinda cool.
it's like
That'd be
anything
sick.
else. You know, I wish I would have had some stuff to wear whenever I was out of state. You know, like in Wisconsin and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. So we need to get some merch. I did a poll on Facebook. You know, I do some of those
Beer
polls.
poll, I saw that. I thought it was ironic because you don't drink.
Right. I did a beer poll, and I wasn't going to bring that
Never
one
even
up.
tasted beer, but whatever.
But I did. I remember the fry one, the fries.
Yeah.
Who has the better fries? And McDonald's fries had 28 votes, and second place Arby's had 23. And I thought that was pretty. I didn't see that coming. Now, I love Arby's fries. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're good.
But
See,
they're
to me, it's
not even close.
Yeah, to me, it's like
There's no
Landslide.
nobody's fry. Yeah.
Landslide.
I was
Yes.
gonna say, if you're gonna give a second place to somebody, you can give it to them if you want, but
Right.
they ain't even in the same ballpark. As
Not even
McDonald's
close.
fries.
Now with Arby's fries, I like a little bit of not red pepper, 3 pepper sauce.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
like
I
3 pepper.
will only eat them with 3 pepper sauce and some cheddar.
That's weird because
I
you don't
wanna-
like hot stuff at all.
I want. Yep, that's not hot.
Well,
spicy.
I mean, it's spicy. And
Slightly spicy. I
you're-
can eat that. I like that stuff.
You usually
I
like,
like that.
gravy with no salt and that kind of thing.
Speaking of gravy, a friend of mine, a baseball dad, he eats biscuits and chili for breakfast.
Huh?
Biscuits and chili.
Let me tell you
Just a
something.
regular can, like
At
a
this man's
Hormel or
age,
Wolf.
I could have eaten it and been glad to have it.
Did you ever
At
eat
my
it?
age now, it'll ruin my day. I can't eat chili
Biscuits
for
and
breakfast.
chili, though.
Yeah, but have you
That's
ever
more
had
so the
biscuits and
combination.
chili? He said try it. He said his grandma, they had a farm, and all the farm hands, that's what she would make them for breakfast because it was, easy and cheap.
Yeah.
And so for breakfast, that's what they had.
Sir,
and he said,
I've
so
eaten chili on just about anything.
have you had biscuits and chili?
Yes.
You've never told me about
100%.
biscuits and chili.
Well, I mean,
Did you like it?
dude, I've had
Do you
biscuits
like
on
it?
salmon. Biscuits. I've had chili on salmon.
I don't like salmon.
I've had chili
It's
on
actually
tuna.
I think it's the only fish I know of that I don't like.
I've had chili on Cheetos.
But
I've
you had just biscuits and chili?
Yeah, dude,
And-
I've ate it on anything. My Mimi used to she'd make biscuits in a can,
Mm-hmm.
so there'd be like 9 of them, all touching and made into like
Mm-hmm.
a one round glob or whatever. Peel a couple of them out of there, dip it in. We ate Wolf Brand chili in the summers when we stayed with her. My brother and my cousin Justin can back me up. We ate Wolf Brand chili she had cans of it, bro, cases of it.
Hey, I love Wolf Brand chili. Hormel
That's
or
good.
Wolf, either one.
Hey,
Yeah.
we get it. We take a little Worcestershire or Worcestershire, whichever way you want to say it.
Yes, it's easy to say. I don't know if I think it's hard, but go ahead.
I don't think that's the way you say it, but I'll go with it.
said
It's just as good as any
I
other.
said it just like it's how it's supposed to be said.
Are you sure that's how they say it in England?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
They actually may
I don't
say
believe you.
Worcester sauce.
I don't believe it, but anyway.
Well, in Massachusetts, it is spelt the same.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, it's not. They say
stupid.
Worcester.
Yeah, just to get it over with.
They
Yeah.
say
I don't
Worcester.
blame them.
Yeah.
I've been the same way.
I was at a client's house, and they said, "Okay, where are you going next?" And I said, "That word," and they go, "Oh gosh!" And they started laughing. And they said, "You mean Worcester?" Now, what's funny about this thing is we had just talked about how slower Oklahomans were to their, up in the Northeast and their way of life and all that. I'm like, man, it's, I guess if you're going to talk about like in Boston, but we were kind of out in the country a little bit. And so we kind of had a little laugh. It was two women and me, and I was like, no, going back and forth. I'm like, well, we're not stupid, don't. and then that brought up, and they go, oh, you mean Worcester? And I said, no. I said, there is a Worcester not far from where I live.
And that is not the word.
And it's spelt just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is not. So it was kind of funny. But anyways, chili and biscuits.
Yeah, I've eaten chili on everything. Everything. We would put.
Do you like mustard in your chili? I eat a lot of mustard. Dude.
Yeah, mustard and chili's good.
Yeah, I
I'd second that.
And a little bit of tomatoes, some stewed tomatoes. Oh, gosh. Anyways, I'm getting hungry right now. I did have dinner.
I just ate a foot-long coney from
Did you
Sonic
really?
like a few hours ago.
From Sonic?
Yeah, with chili and mustard. So it's fresh on my mind.
Well, I haven't. Man, I almost went. I was going to go to Boston if it wasn't for all this coronavirus shit. I would have went.
Well, you will hear.
Yeah.
You will hear.
Not from you, I won't.
You will hear the F word every other sentence, and they won't like you.
I'll be right at home then.
Tesla chose Austin over Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
Yeah.
No big surprise though. Nothing against Tulsa. I mean,
I just wanted to bring that up a little. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit.
It's kind of
I want to talk
trendy.
about me trying acupuncture for my migraines.
It didn't work.
It did not
Long
help
story
me
even
out.
longer.
It didn't help me out. No.
When's the last time you shaved your chest?
Why is I got hair sticking out or something?
I see hair sticking through your shirt, like masses of hair under your shirt.
Really? I didn't shave that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. I got just a little bit.
No.
No. Oh yeah, and I did a post. Somebody, I won't say who, but somebody contacted me last night. Was like, hey man, do you have access to anything like an extended warranty for UTVs, ATVs, four wheelers, blah 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 blah. And so I just wondered, and I posted it on Facebook. I got no responses, but if you're listening to this podcast and you have any experience with those extended warranties, I'd like to hear it, because that's something that I don't really, have that much knowledge in or experience with. An extended warranty. I want to know what brand you use, and did it work? Are you happy with it? Did you have any issues?
They always seem like a way to get more money out of people.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but do they pay out when you need them, or do they come up with some kind of do
man,
you read the fine print, because you have to read the fine print on that kind of
you
stuff.
breached the contract.
I'll give you this though, that home shield thing that we do.
Did you use any of those? Did you deal with any of those in the mower shop?
Warranties?
Yeah.
Not very often. No,
Okay.
usually when people bring in mowers in to get fixed, they're years old.
Well, they're not.
But
they're
when
not a
we would
dealer.
sell them ourselves, they have warranty. Yeah, if it broke
okay.
down within a certain period, Brad would help them out.
Right.
He's not just gonna go. Sucks, like you were talking about with that power tower. You traded it for that Husqvarna and it crapped
Yes.
out. That just is what
Yeah.
it is.
Right.
He won't do
I
that to
contacted him too after it, and he goes, "Well, I'm out of town right now, but when I get back from work, I'll get back into town. I'll come by." He never did. So I was just like, you know what? I learned my lesson. But the extended warranty is like when you go to a dealership, and you're buying a brand new, $8,000 four wheeler or $10,000 four wheeler or whatever, $20,000 UTV, or I guess now they're around 30 or 35, 40,000 actually. I've heard. Yeah, they're crazy.
Dang.
I know I just want to know people's experience with them and what brand and what company and all that. So
Yeah.
if you're listening to this, find the post on Facebook. I posted on my personal Facebook, and I posted it in the group. If you're not in the Facebook group, go find it. I Don't Drink Coffee Podcast, and join it. And comment, let me know. Or you can send me a message. I don't care. If you don't want to post anything personal on there or whatever, let me know.
Just go buy an extended warranty and see how it goes.
Well, I'd have to use it then.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, I'm not going to go tear my stuff up just so I can use it. I want to know your experience.
My
You, the
experience is
listener.
I don't buy
Now,
them.
you bought the home shield. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's been excellent. I mean, as far
Right.
as the warranty on my home goes, it's been. I mean, we've paid $75 a few times and had them do hundreds of dollars of work for $75. You know what I mean? Like plumber come out a couple of times, and whenever our washing machine breaks, they just come out and basically rebuilt it. No, the dryer. I'm sorry, not the washing machine, the dryer. Put new pulleys and a new motor and all this, blah, blah, blah. Remember how loud that thing used to be? It's not loud anymore, man. It just sits there and... Because it was worn out and we didn't know it. I was like, any way you guys could just say it's crapped out so we could get a new one?
What'd they say?
They're like, yeah, that's what you want. I was like, oh, kind of, okay. Maybe next time it goes down, we'll say she's down for the count, you know?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about Braxton. Remember Braxton?
What's going on with him?
Well, he recently, Braxton Thompson, he's 14, I believe, and he had just found out months ago that he had a brain tumor.
Dang.
And so he had surgery for removal, and then he had another surgery because there were some complications with it. They had to put a tube in his brain and was draining the fluid, and it wasn't draining. So they had to go back in there. But the tumor has shrunk considerably. It's a lot.
That's good.
So now, I guess the other day, he started practicing again and got back on a bull.
On a bull?
Yeah, he's back to doing what he loves, man. That's what he...
I thought you meant maybe throwing the baseball around or
Right,
something like
that's
that.
his, that's his
You know?
passion, bull riding, man. I props to him. I'm a bull rider too. Remember the...
Yeah,
Never
we've
forget,
all
I
seen
wrote-
that video.
I'm a bull rider.
Bullshitter.
Oh, we'll talk a little bit about Josh Anderson and I competing in the Roush Esports sim racing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're competing against some real life pro drivers. Well, this month we're in a series right now. We're in I think for 6 months, 6 different races, a race each month. And actually, I think there's 2 races a week for that week. Like we had a sprint race last week, and then a couple of days later or the night later we have the enduro race, which is where we are actually in.
Now, Josh is your spotter, right?
No,
Or is he racing?
no, we both race. We split it up.
You know
And
what's funny
The
is-
game is that way too, where like when you pull into the pit, he hits a button where he gets in the car, and I'm the spotter. So we're both spotting for each other. So when I race, he's my spotter, and then when I race, I'm his spotter.
See,
Did I say that right?
And you know, we were talking
We're each
earlier.
other's spotters.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier that I don't know what kind of dude Ben is, but Josh is his racing buddy, right? So he got a shout out for his birthday. Josh did from Ben on Facebook. Happy birthday, Josh Anderson. All right, and Ben forgot my birthday, and it's 4 days before his.
Tough.
I never forgot your birthday.
Did you post anything for my birthday?
Yes.
You did not. You didn't even remember it was after Dustin's birthday before you even remembered it was my birthday. You were like, isn't your birthday the 16th? I'm like, no, it's the 14th.
I think I was saying, are you talking about years ago?
I'm talking about 2 months ago.
No, sir. I called you on your birthday.
You damn sure did not. You didn't even know it was my birthday for like 2 days after it was over with.
Are you high?
I'm 100% sure about it. I remember.
Negative,
Yes,
sir. We
I was
talked
like,
on
don't
your
worry about it.
birthday.
No big deal. Till I saw the shout out to Josh, I was like, oh, okay. All right. I'm glad for Josh. I am. I have no ill feelings towards Josh whatsoever.
Well, you're not my spotter.
Hey, man. I mean,
You're not my teammate.
everybody.
Do y'all ever make references to Talladega Nights when y'all are racing together, like shake and
I'm
bake
sure,
or anything?
Yeah,
When we make fun of them, we do.
Well, I like.
Shake and bake.
I do tell Josh a lot. Like when I'm like, he can't handle my stuff. That kind of stuff,
Slingshot.
I
engaged.
did remember your birthday, and I said happy birthday, and
did
I
not.
called you on your birthday. We talked on your birthday. We talked that night on your
did
birthday.
not. I
Yes,
think I
did.
called you.
You are high, sir.
No.
You are high.
No.
Yes, you are.
Matter of fact, because I think I called you on your birthday or texted
Dustin's
you
is the 15th. Yours is the 17th. Mine's the 19th.
Mine, you did that. Hopefully you did that on purpose because it's the 14th. Sucker. But anyway, yeah, so I just want to say that
It's not true.
I'm not mad at Josh for his birthday because all birthdays matter. But
Let the record show.
Except for July birthdays. There's too many of them.
there's a
They're
ton
all
of
drowned
them in
out.
my family, dude. Oh my god.
I'm saying in general. It seems like birthday levels spike in July. I
So
don't
you're
know what
saying
it is.
October is a hot month? Is that what you're saying?
I guess so. I
was
don't know.
quick.
I don't know what it
quick
is.
math.
It seems like there's a million July birthdays. I don't know if it's just because my birthday's in July or what it is, but it seems like there are literally like it'll be day after day after day. There's birthday all
Okay,
through
well,
July.
Reagan's is the same day as mine.
Really?
We have the same birthday.
Oh, I
So,
forget about that sometimes.
Have
yeah.
a great day.
Oh yeah, as far as getting.
Oh,
Yeah,
poor
Have
Benny.
a great day.
Poor Benny gets happy birthday, Ben. Anyway, Reagan's birthday's
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Birthday on
I
Christmas.
called you on your birthday. We talked on your birthday.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
No,
Yes,
you
you
didn't.
did.
Why would I say it? I have no reason to
You're
bring
just
it up.
making it up.
'Cause
Anyways,
if-
we're competing in the Roush Esports.
If you had been
All right.
awesome on my birthday, I wouldn't have said anything.
Last week we were at the ball game, so I didn't get to compete. Josh had to do the whole race by himself.
Did you do all right?
It was at Spa. He loves Spa. I love Spa. We just didn't get enough practice in. So, but yeah, he did pretty good.
What does spa mean?
That's
Is it
the
a map?
track called.
Oh.
That's what the track's called. Spa. I kind of left him out to dry though. You know what I mean? Like, but I was in Weatherford. You know, I couldn't. I was maybe if we got beat, we were gonna. Well, I didn't have my rig with me. You know, I have the
okay.
computer. I just didn't have the rig.
Yeah.
I don't have my wheel. So,
You could have used a controller.
did you see the photo? The photo post I made on Facebook of the lightning.
Of
The ball
storm
field,
or-
the lightning,
Oh, yeah,
and then the lightning out the truck, and I did the poll to see has the better picture. Well, one of those pictures is mine. One of them is Pastor Matt Judkins, pastor over at Methodist Church. His kid plays on our team. Awesome guy. Evidently, he took the better picture.
Oh,
And I don't appreciate it,
Dang.
okay?
well, that's what you get for
Outdone.
polling.
I said, how? No. We did a poll on GroupMe too. You know, our team has a GroupMe,
yeah.
so all the parents are in there. And so there was a poll, you know.
He won both.
Huh?
He won
both, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I know it. That was the initial poll. And I was like, no, I'll make my own poll on my
I
Facebook
want a
group.
non-biased poll. Thank you very
Exactly,
much.
because you guys all know he's a pastor, so no one's going to vote for me, you know.
Yeah.
And so some people did give me some sympathy votes, but I was sitting there. We were sitting in the parking lot, right, and there was lightning all around us, and I'm like, I'm not getting out of the car. You know how I am with lightning. I'm not getting out. Stay in the car. So I'm sitting there videoing, you know, this lightning show, and it's clouds, it's wicked looking, you know. And I'm sitting there looking at and I'm like, all right. So I'm cutting it up. I'm going to make it into like a short video or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Amy was sitting in the car, and she goes, "Oh, did you see Matt's picture?" And I was like, she showed me, and I was like, and you know, it's the ball field, it's the big bolt of lightning in the background. I was like, oh gosh. And it wasn't like, you know, we were all like, ooh, let's see who can make
Yeah.
it.
It just.
But
all-
it
yeah.
happened at the same. I was like, oh, his picture's way better than mine, but my picture was good. Anyways, I want to talk about that a little bit. I just wanted to, you know, let everybody know that. But there was only like not very many votes. I think there was 30 votes for him in the Facebook group and 9 votes for me. So I think it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was looking for at least 100 votes.
I voted
One
for
way or
you
the other.
twice. Don't worry.
So I think it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
We need more votes.
To be determined.
Right. To be
That was just a
determined.
runoff, anyways.
And I want to give a shout out to Cody and Lindsey Parker at Advantage Trucking. They, you know, I already made a Facebook post about it, but they provided all the Gatorade, all the water for the entire baseball season, regionals,
That's awesome.
state. You know, they lugged the big, you know, ice chest around, and we all had unlimited Gatorades. Except
Man, I could
the
use
only
a
bad
Gatorade
part
right
about
now.
it is he
Word.
likes the zeros. not really. I like the sugar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. If that's the time you're drinking Gatorade, you deserve it.
Right.
So I don't want to sit there and drink cough syrup.
I drink the zeros, man, because I'm trying to cut down the carbs.
Well, they're good. I just gave Cody hell about it all the time because I'm like, oh really? You know,
Cody Parker's a good guy.
You know?
For the children, I would have got the strong stuff. You know what I mean? I'd have been like, nah, full sugar for these guys. They're out here working. You know.
And I wanted to talk about the last thing on my list was Dwayne Hampton's podcast. You know, we did the Facebook Live video with him, and I went back and I was going to put it together and put it on, you know, Anchor and Spotify and Apple and all that, Google and iHeartRadio. We're on all platforms.
It's on platforms.
It's on platforms, but his is not because the audio just wasn't usable. It was just not.
That's a shame too, man, because it was
Yeah.
really good, very informative, and I've had a conversation with the man since. You know, I made a little post about the recruiting company or whatever, and I wasn't really interested in using the recruiting company as much as I was.
Learning about it.
Just kind of talking to some people, and I didn't know who specifically to talk to about it. You know, because I mean, you know, Gavin's kind of behind the scenes. You know, there's a few, nothing committed, nothing crazy or anything like that. But you know, there's some things to be considered as we're moving into football season here, as far as his future and those kind of things like that. And I was trying to get an idea of what we're looking at, what we can do, what we can't, and stuff. And a bunch of people reached out to me and gave me some very valuable advice. A lot of people have had a lot of similar experiences, and they kind of helped me on, you might not want to do this, it might be better to do that, And I did talk to Dwayne Hampton on the phone, and I can tell you that the man had no reason other than, you know, out of the kindness of his heart to talk to me, because he's kind of got that inside track of, you know, being in the position he's in and everything. And he let me know kind of how it works and how what he's seen, a lot of personal experiences from athletes he's helped coach, and he was very, very helpful, and I very much appreciate him.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because Dwayne Hampton's, you know, I graduated with him, went to school with him for years, and that's exactly how he's always been. So
I appreciate him for real. I mean,
but
I
I feel bad about the audio not being usable. So if you'd like to come on and we do a podcast,
Run it back.
Excellent.
Run it back.
Yes, dude. Let's
Run it
do
back.
it. Please, Dwayne. Come on, dude. Mr.
out.
Hampton, Coach Hampton, whatever we got to call
But
Coach Hampton.
stipulation, Coach Hampton, is if he listens to the podcast, he'll hear this.
Oh, you're going to put this at the end?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right
so
here, in
it's
it.
up to him whether or not he gets to come back on, or he even knows
If he
it doesn't even work.
Contact us. That's what I tell people. I'm like, I may tell a story about you in the podcast. You might want to listen. Because if you don't ever contact me, I know you didn't listen to
Yeah.
it, you know. And if you don't want to listen to the podcast, I totally understand.
I don't listen to it either.
That's what we say. I do listen to it every time I go to edit it, and that's probably about the last time I listened to it.
Dude, the last two
But I'm
that
going
I've
to start
listened to-
cutting up. You know, you need to come up with some stuff that you want me to, you know, cut up. That's good for, you know.
You're talking about like clips, like short
Yeah.
little segments. That's what gets you publicity.
Right.
That's what Joe Rogan, how he got, like how his podcast blew up to as big as it is those little snippets where
Yeah.
like it'd be like, I don't know, Elon Musk talks about Neuralink and it'd be bite-sized piece, like 10 minutes long or something like that, something short, boom.
Well, yeah,
and you're
but-
like, whoa, where's the full podcast?
Right.
I want to hear all what this guy's
Exactly.
got to say. I've
Exactly.
done it a bunch of times. See his clips on YouTube and be like, that guy's cool.
Well,
Let's go look at this. And then
exactly.
you go find it.
Yeah, for sure. And your dad texted me the other day while I was in the middle of a game. Actually, it was scrimmage. No, in the middle of a game. He texted me. It was before a game, I think, right before. And I had to step out of the dugout and call him because he goes, "You just got my butt chewed out at 7 a.m." And I was
He
like,
did. That's not a lie.
I was thinking maybe like a text message that I sent him didn't go through, and it went in like in the middle of the night, and it woke Brandy up, his wife, or his wife,
stepmom.
Brandy, your stepmom. I figured that's what it was. When he goes, "You got my butt chewed," I was like, I must have woke her up in the middle of the night. Like I went back and was like looking at the text. I was like, everything.
I haven't texted this man. I didn't even text him on his birthday.
I
What's
didn't
he
even
talking about?
So what I was getting at was he called me. I called him and I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Dude, so and so. Should we say his name?
Brian Crockett. Yes.
Brian Crockett was listening to the podcast this morning, and you cut it off right in the middle of a story." And see, we've had a lot of people complain. They're like, "Dude, your podcasts are 4, 5 hours long, 3 hours long. I'm not going to listen to all of that at once." And my answer has always been, well, just listen to it as you go. You know, when you get back in your car, just hit play and it'll start from right where it was before. And they're like, nah. So we did a 3 hour long podcast. I cut it into 3 different segments, posted them, but I didn't post them all at the same time. I posted one day, one the next day, and then the third on the the third day. Actually, it may have actually dropped on the 4th day because I was right in the middle of stuff, baseball stuff and all that, and I just didn't have time to do it all. But anyways, he was in the middle of a story, and I didn't do it intentionally. I will from now on, though. You know, that story that your dad told about, earlier. I'm going to cut it right in the middle of that. Somewhere in that story will be.
Like a cliffhanger. Yes. I understand.
Well, that's what Crockett was.
Part 1. Dang, right. Yes.
Right, and that's what I guess.
Crockett was pissed.
Yeah, tell the story.
Because he called me I'm getting out of the shower and getting dressed for work, and my phone rang, and it's Crockett. Now, and Crockett and I talk a lot, especially since I've been building this car.
At whatever time, I don't remember what time it was, but
when he called me, 7 in the morning. I didn't make that up.
Weighing on this guy's mind.
Yeah, I had been up about 25 minutes when he called me.
Well, I was thinking that's what you said was 7, but
7 a.m. Well, he's helped me a bunch on this car, give me parts, give me advice, hook me up with people to talk to, all kind of stuff, man. But rarely do we talk on the phone. Usually it's either messenger or text message or something like that. He never calls, you know what I mean? And I'm not mad about it. It's just, we're usually doing something. What?
Is it really 1:17 in the morning?
Yes, it is.
Holy moly. Dude, I thought it was like 10 o'clock at the latest.
It's 1? And we showed up here at 8?
I thought it was 10 o'clock. I thought it's got to be pushing 10.
No, we've been here 5 hours.
Did you?
5 hours.
Did you know it was 1:17?
But we've been here.
I knew when it was midnight. I knew when it was midnight.
We've been here for 5 hours.
When I said sit down, I was talking about let's do the outro. I was going to end it because it was late.
Well, I know.
Dude, you're gonna it's gonna be hell on wheels editing all this, dude.
It won't be bad. I'll just go through it. Anything I say stupid, I just cut out, and
all of our stupid stuff stays.
We continue on.
Well,
because there have been some times I've fumbled my words, and every time
he'll cut it out.
Well, I've got a bad headache, and that's just the way it goes.
Well, let me finish telling my story about Crockett, and then we'll end it.
All right. So
anyway, I'm getting in the shower, and he calls me, and I see, and I'm thinking maybe he's in trouble. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh. So I'm like, I'm literally in my underwear. I'm not making that up. I'm like, hello? And he's like, he goes, hey, you need to tell Ben to work on his editing. And I said, huh? It's 7 in the morning.
But didn't he say something first? Didn't he say something, what the hell has Ben doing or something like that?
Yeah, that's what the first thing he said. Yeah, he goes, what the hell is wrong with Ben? And I said, I don't know. Dude, I was sitting there thinking, did he post something? He never posts anything crazy.
A lot of things wrong with Ben.
It's a laundry list. You really want me to get going here? But I said, what do you mean? And he goes, listen, I'm sitting there listening to the podcast, and you're in the middle of telling the story, and I want to know what the hell happened. It cuts off in the middle of the story. He said he needs to work on his editing, and I was like,
that's the point.
I didn't even know what story it was, for one thing. You know what I mean? He's like, I want to know what happened with Bo. I still don't know what story it is. He's probably going to be mad. Oh, well, it's in the other half of the last half of the podcast. So we got to hear the rest of it. But anyway.
I think it was something to do with the car.
Yeah, it was. It was something. But, yeah, dude, he was pissed. I mean, he was at the end of it. He was like, I I'm not really mad, but tell him not to stop it in the middle of the story. And I was like, okay, I'll
That's
tell him.
exactly what I'm going to do from now on.
Who wouldn't?
Thank you, Brian Crockett. I'm sorry, but not sorry.
You want to talk about what gets me on Joe Rogan's podcast more than anything? Is like when I'll be watching one of those snippets and unintentionally leave it off on a really interesting topic.
Maybe it's not unintentionally.
Well, I feel like it's not like a parent company or anything like that. It's like to Joe Rogan's actual, like the podcast isn't a parent company to the clips, the people that make the clips. I think it's two completely separate entities.
Right.
And they both, profit off of it.
Right.
So the clips page hasn't been taken down yet. Because I don't think it's verified or anything like that.
The JRE or whatever it is.
Yeah, JRE, yeah. And, they'll be talking something about, paleontology or whatever I'm looking at, and it'll just stop at any given point. And be like, well, you know what they actually found out about the T-Rex is done. And it'd be like some scholar, or some like really interesting guy. And I'll be like, dude.
Then you got to go find that in the podcast, and you don't know where it's at.
I'll watch the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Because I'll be like, dude, this guy's awesome. And I want to hear what they were talking about earlier when I was watching the clip. So if y'all could, you could definitely work that over for sure.
Dude, it's one of those things where, and Joe Rogan's that guy where.
We just need to tell more interesting stories, though.
I was going to say, I don't know what we would, nobody's going to give a shit.
You've told me a couple stories that would be pretty interesting to some people that don't know them.
We have interesting stories. We have a million stories.
Never tell them.
But when we get on the podcast, we don't tell them. You see? You see?
Yeah, we just
5 hours.
We just bullshitted for most of this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, most
That's
of the
how we
stuff
always
that
do
just
it.
happened last week, not like notable stuff. It's like, dude, remember that one time that this guy pulled a shotgun on me and my friends? And I stood right, and one of my buddies stood right in front of him. Like crazy stories that I've heard from people that I'm, obviously namesake. Crazy stories I've heard people that host this podcast talk about that never have been mentioned. That people would be like, huh?
Right.
This happened in Wilburton?
Right.
What? I live there, or people I know live there. What?
Or
it's not New York.
We live in McAllister, and Wilburton's too close now. If that's true, So we need to move away. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a million of them, dude.
Just depends on what you want.
There literally is a million stories, but when we get on here, we don't really tell those stories.
Well, sometimes I get to thinking people get tired of hearing stories about whenever I was an idiot 19-year-old. You know what I mean? Because I did a lot of dumb stuff then.
Well, I think we need to tell at least like the worm story, and
I got a Crockett story too.
And you run into the water line. That's a great story.
Dude, yeah.
With Worm that he just told
where
earlier.
I broke the
So we did sprinkle a story in there.
I don't know. 1920 is pretty fruitful storytelling stuff. I mean, as far as that age, where it's like, I don't know, that seems to be like older people. That's when they got the best stories.
Do you have a Crockett story?
Not for tonight. Not for tonight. I'll tell it on the next one, yeah.
You sure?
I got two good ones.
Yeah, but you say that, but will you really do it?
Just remind me to tell you stories about Brian Crockett, because these are the biggies. You know what I'm saying? The big ones that I got.
Can I leave this in the podcast?
Yeah, this will piss him off.
Really?
What he'll probably do when he hears it, he'll call me and be like, now wait a minute.
What stories are you going to tell?
Yeah, because he's got a couple on me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's one in particular I don't want him telling.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
let him leave that out.
So
I need to think this through. I may not tell these stories. I'll run them by him first.
Yeah.
I don't want him to tell him.
What? That takes all the fun out of it.
Well, we'll see. I probably won't. But it's a long time ago, so whatever.
You'll tell the stories.
Probably.
No matter what.
Okay, let's do our shout outs
or
whatever. What's your plug, man?
Every time we have a guest on, they get to plug whatever they want to plug. And you've already plugged
the mower shop,
and you can do it again if you'd like. Or you can take this opportunity to plug something else. How many touchdowns are you going to have this season?
I don't know.
How many did you have last season?
I think I had 8. 6
touchdowns?
8, somewhere in there, yeah. And I had I'm not gonna get to bragging about my stats, but yeah.
No, I know you're not. You're not the bragging type. I know.
I did all right.
You did good. I thought. You're a force to be reckoned with out there, dude. For real. I watch a lot of your games. You know that.
It's fun to watch, man. I like watching him play.
I did watch a game from my car while it was raining, though.
Durant from back in the day.
Yeah, you did.
Just last season.
Was it Edison where it was freezing cold and raining?
Maybe.
Dude.
But your dad was over there in the stands, I think.
Was that Edison then?
Yeah,
he was.
Stands.
He was.
I don't go nowhere, bro.
But I parked across
up on the hill.
Yeah, and
Word.
watched. Okay, who's your plug? I look forward.
It's hard.
Disclaimer: I look forward to watching you this season. I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to playing.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited.
Speaking of looking forward to playing, I would like to plug all of McAllister Athletics. If you have the money and/or, I don't know, if you feel like helping us out, buy buff cards, do the things like that, support your community, make it a better place for us to play sports or whatever. I'm not begging, just saying. That's
Right.
my plug. McAllister Athletics. Shout out to all the coaches and stuff, all cool people. And I'm gonna plug the mower shop again
Awesome.
because
It was
it's
awesome.
good. It's great. For
It's a
me,
good-
it's like plugging Six Flags, but for you guys, I'm pretty much just plugging like the car dealership or whatever. Like,
So it's a
you
great
go-
place to take your mower.
Yes.
You would trust it, just not just because you were friends with the guys and he was a good boss or whatever. You would trust actually dropping your mower off.
Yes, and letting them fix
and
it.
that they would be, taking good care of you. Awesome.
100%.
Awesome.
Shout
and
out
the
to
buff
Main
cards.
Street Mower.
When are they doing the buff cards?
I don't
Haven't
know.
decided yet.
Most of the time it's in August, but now I don't know how they're
Now I
going to
got
go
an
about.
email today about tickets, and they're not doing season tickets yet.
I don't know how they're going to go about selling cards door to door with a virus. That
I didn't
that's
read
changing,
that yet.
so
They said the
we'll
other day
see.
that you had till August 21st to
They're not
reserve
doing
them.
they're not doing season tickets.
At all.
Why would they?
Well, as of right now, no.
Why would they have to say they don't allow fans to go? And why would
Right.
they would have to refund all that money for
Well,
nothing?
they're going to be
They have
allowing
no
fans to
return.
go. I'll be there.
I'll be there. And be pissed, dude.
I'll
me
go.
tell you
as-
something.
Everybody could just take the money they were going to put into tickets and put it into a drone and like
Yeah, I'll
have
go.
it, like spectate the game.
I'll
and
go
live
with
stream it.
security or something. I'll do something. I'll be there in some capacity. Yeah, Mary sent a email saying
I'm reading it.
no season tickets yet. As of right now, it could change, of course, but it's
Yeah.
not going to. It's going to be one of those. If you want to, you're going to be able to go to the games, but people are probably less likely to buy season tickets because maybe most of them won't. I don't know. I don't know why they're
They
doing
could
that.
just or they could just be like,
Or they're gonna, they could sell a whole bunch of season tickets, and then all of a sudden, like you said, stop letting fans go, and then it's like, okay, we gotta give all this money back. It's better just not
with
do
no
it.
return
Right.
because there's no more fans coming. That's a huge piece of income for Oklahoma or
me tell
whoever.
you.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
I
something.
agree.
You're going to see me go to jail. They try to tell me I can't go that ball.
dude, they got the hill. They get set up like big old tall stands in the hill, dude. Up next.
It
to
may
the-
be parents only type thing too.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that's true.
I'm
It
fine
could be
with
Family.
like they
I'm
do with
100 fine with that.
Well, I'm Uncle
Yeah.
Benny, so I get to go.
you get however many. It's like they did graduation. It's like however many tickets you like.
Right.
You're assigned 3 tickets, and the closest people in your
Could
family
be.
or whoever, you take these home and give them to them.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Well, the
That'll
virus
work.
wasn't supposed to be able to live through this heat and humidity.
Here we are.
Here we are. And who are you plugging, Mr. Johnson?
I'd like to
Lucas
plug.
Johnson.
I'd like to plug the Pontiac Museum in Pontiac, Illinois. I went
Pontiac,
to it.
Illinois.
I went to it whenever we were on our little vacation here a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. They had a one of 360 Ram Air 4 GTO judges there. It was sick. It was an awesome car, and they had another judge there, but it wasn't. It was like one of 10,000 or something.
No, was it like
that.
a big building?
It wasn't that big of a museum, actually. They had a couple of judges in there. They had a Fiero for some reason, and they had a lot of the older cars.
Maybe it was the first Pontiac Fiero made.
I don't know. I don't remember. I wasn't that interested in that, but they had the older cars. They had a bunch of, like, the Pontiac 400 was set up, the 455, or the, what's the big block Pontiac? It's not 455. That's an Oldsmobile. Anyways, they had, like, some engine set up and a lot of memorabilia and signs from garages and stuff like that. Because Pontiacs, they don't make them anymore. So it was a lot of old, we fix Pontiacs here signs hanging up, and parts magazine, like parts buying books that they used to have in the mechanic shops and stuff. Had that stuff around. But it was cool. I mean, seeing that rare judge was really cool. And it wasn't the museum, of course. It was out of a guy's private collection. But it was cool because I'm, kind of a, what would you say, Pontiac by
Association.
Well,
Or
yeah, I'm
by-
kind of like an adopted
Connoisseur.
adopted kid. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a judge. I've got a Le Mans or whatever. So.
Redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. Shout out to the Pontiac Museum. That was cool. And shout out to
2 plugs.
Crockett's Drop Shop. Yeah, Brian Crockett.
Yeah.
Dude, he's been helping me with my car.
Hey, shout out to Crockett for listening to the podcast, for real. I didn't know. There's people out there that listen to it and don't really let us know about it. And I wish they would. I wish they would tell us.
Well, Crockett knows I'm a dumbass,
I mean,
and
you
I'm
may
liable
not-
to say anything, so he just listens for that.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
you may not want to know that he listens to it at 7 a.m., and that's
I don't
my
know if
fault.
he was listening to it at 7 and decided that. I don't know where that came from. I mean, he was just...
That's very funny. You're still in your underwear when he...
Yes! I just got out of the shower. I just brushed my teeth.
It's a great story.
And which he was abrupt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say, "Hey, how's it going this morning?" or blah, blah, blah. He went straight to the point.
What is
He
wrong
wanted to
with
know
Ben?
what the hell Ben thought he was doing. So I was like, I don't know. I'll find out, man. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you the story because I won't ruin it. No, I don't want to know the rest of the story. I'll listen to it on the podcast. But he needs to put it out so I can listen to it. I was like, all right, man. But anyway, yeah, shout out to him. So that's it. So what are you plugging?
I want to shout out to the this year's 10U Buffs going to state and to Coach Mullins for getting them there, because couldn't have done it without him, obviously. And so, when you look at these boys in the eyes and you know exactly what I'm talking about, and they go out there and they do the damn thing. It's just crazy to watch. It's just crazy to watch. Knowing that just, a month and a half ago or whatever, we were all, all of them anyways, were quarantined playing Fortnite. We didn't even know we were going to play baseball at all.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times I was like, I don't even see us playing any baseball at all. And Mullins was like on the horn and getting us games and, scrimmages and tournaments and stuff. And, he just sends out the text, in the group me. We're playing, Saturday at whatever time, be there. It's not, well, what do you guys do? And that's the good thing about, when you pick the parents first, then you pick the kids, you pick the parents. You don't have to ask, do you guys want to play? Initially it was like, hey, this is what we're wanting to do. And everybody's on board, all parents, so, and shout out to the parents as well, because we got excellent parents and an excellent group of kids. And I can't say enough about them. And to see them go out and fight and battle, and it's awesome. It really is. I've never, 10 years ago, I would have been like, oh, it's cool, they won, but when you get to look them in their eyes and they go out there, and it's awesome.
That's
really
awesome,
is.
man. I'm glad they did so well. That's cool.
And the way that, Mullins can make stuff happen is just crazy to me. Way to get, for how he gets them to fight, and they have it in them. He's just like, this is, just the way he everything, just how he does it. It's just crazy. I learn so much every single time I'm around him. And I know I'm friends with him, and I know people are going to be like, oh, I know he coaches your kids, so you're going to be, you're going to say all this stuff. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. I'm not asking for any favors. I don't need any favors,
Well, at least he gets, probably gets a happy birthday text from you, those kind of things. I'm sure.
We have dinner and stuff. I take him
Yeah.
out to dinner.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad. He deserves that. He
10U
does.
Buffs. 10U Buffs.
He's a good friend.
We move up to 12U next year.
It's guys that are not
We're
really
12U
good friends.
next year.
You might not text them or anything on their birthday, but good,
Might wait a
good
few
friends.
days.
Good friends, you would definitely,
I'd text you.
acknowledge their
I
birthday.
text you and called you on your birthday.
It's not about me, bro. We're talking about you and Mullins.
Oh, okay. All right.
This ain't about me, man.
Oh, okay.
I was complimenting Coach Mullins.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good, obviously a good friend. I consider him a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't holler at him on his birthday. I don't know when it is, but
Oh.
sorry.
I could tell you.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure.
Gavin. Dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
I really
for
appreciate
spending,
it. 5.
well, not quite, but of recorded time, yes.
A lot.
Around 4. 3 hours, 48 minutes, which that'll be cut down a little bit, but yeah. And then I know we were sitting here for about an hour.
It's been fun, though. It's been very enjoyable.
Dude,
for
you
sure.
were awesome, too. I mean, I knew you were going to be, but like,
I didn't say much, but whatever.
you did. You did. I didn't say much either. Your dad said a
I
lot.
always do. I always talk too much. Never ending.
We are the I Don't Drink Coffee podcast. This episode is brought to you by Blackline Insurance Group. Visit blacklineinsurancegroup.com or email me, ben@blacklineinsurancegroup.
I need to get on there and sign my paper and switch over.
Some of your other stuff, yes. If
Gotta
you
go.
want. If you want.
I got to.
I don't pressure you. I
I know
don't
you
pressure
don't.
no one.
I know you don't. I looked
But
at
if you
my-
want a quote on your insurance, give me a call.
The other night I
Or
went to
text
drive that
me.
car and I was like,
Send me an email.
when does that expire? Oh, good.
On what?
My insurance card when I went to drive my car the other night.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, oh God,
Well, we need to.
you facilitated for me and I appreciate it, dude. You came through like you always do.
Didn't I make it happen for you?
Birthdays you suck at, but the insurance you're good at.
Well, listen,
You know, what I
my
mean?
clients.
This is one of those trust me with your life, not your money or your wife type things. You know what I'm saying?
My clients, I send them birthday texts. I call them, send them birthday cards. You know, whatever. I take care of my clients on their birthdays. I make them feel loved.
No, I'm a client. You didn't call or text
You
me on
weren't
my
before
birthday.
your birthday.
I've been a
Meaningless.
client. I've been a client for years. Anyway,
The I Don't Drink Coffee podcast. I'm Ben Klein, Lucas Johnson. Gavin, thanks for coming on, man.
thank you, Gavin.
I
Thanks
do
for
love
having
you.
me on.
By the time everybody sees this, be my 18-year-old son, man. It's been a
No, I'll have it out before then.
ride. No way.
I might drop it on your birthday. How about that? Wednesday? I'll get it done. Happy birthday, Gavin. That will be
Happy birthday, Gavin.
that will be the name of the episode. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Gavin, or should I just do Gavin Johnson? Let's just do Gavin
It's
Johnson.
just Gavin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems a little extra.
I've learned since I've started that it's better just to do the names of the
Individual.
yeah. Just do straight just the name.
That's who it is.
Yeah, Gavin Johnson. That way they don't go, well, which one's Gavin on?
Yeah.
Or which one is, so and so on?
Yep.
Word.
Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks,
Gavin.
guys.
18's going to be a trippy
I'm going
day.
to drop it on your birthday for your birthday.
Okay.
And then
Birthday present from Ben.
yeah, Uncle Ben. Uncle Benny.
Unky.
Unky Ben. All right, we're out.
Have yourself
Take it easy.
a great day.
Love your body.